Okay, I'd like to continue with the ceremony by noting that on the occasion of the original dedication of this building in May of 1967, the building's world-famous architect, Mr. Pei, was present at that occasion and made a speech. Pei recently celebrated his 100th birthday, but unfortunately was not able to join us on this occasion. But we are extremely delighted to be able to welcome Pei's son, Mr. Sandi Pei, himself a very distinguished and accomplished architect. I call on Sandi Pei to say a few words.
Thank you. And there will be very few, because I think the building here that you work in speaks for itself. But I do want to say a couple of things. First of all, I'm very, very honored to be here on this occasion for the rededication. When I was invited and I mentioned this to my father, he was delighted and insisted that I come as his representative. And he said he wished he could be here himself. And the reason is because this building is extremely meaningful to him, and I want to tell you a little bit of why. My father was 44 years old when he was given the privilege of doing this building. It was a competition that with many very well-established architects, and at the time my father had been working in real estate for a developer and been doing sort of low-cost housing, slum clearance, and some modest commercial buildings, and none that offered him the challenge of this project, of this site. And when he was interviewed and expressed his enthusiasm for this project, he said that it was a project that he wanted to give all of his time and energy, and that all of his projects of this kind represented an important challenge for his career because he really wasn't very well known at all. And somehow, despite the fact that he was not as well recognized as others in this group, he was still managed to find a direct support and friendship with Walter Orr Roberts, so that whenever I mention or the National Center for Atmospheric Research, the first thing he says is Walter Orr Roberts. And I think that what he was able to do here as an architect owes at least 50% to the collaboration that he had with the client Walter Orr Roberts. Walter Orr Roberts was the first client that he really could say was a cultivated man. And by that, it's not just cultivated in the arts. It's a person who shares a vision of humanity, a person who understands interactions with people, humankind. And my father is very much the same kind of person. And they had wonderful conversations. They would hike up here in the foothills, and they would drink wine, as Stuart mentioned earlier. They drink a lot of wine. And they talked about how people would interact in this building. This was the vision of Walter Orr Roberts was of which you see here is of a building that is a little bit quirky. The circulation, it's a little bit of chaos here, a little bit like my talk here now, a little bit improvisational, sort of accidental encounters. Those are the kind of things that Walter Orr Roberts really felt was essential to the scientific process, the discovery, and that encounters with people in corridors, in small nooks and crannies, really would help to inspire the kind of research and the kind of quality of product that he felt was essential to the scientific, the creative process. And my father really welcomed that challenge. And together they really worked very, very closely on the creation of this building. And I think that if there's anything that we can derive from this is the importance of this family this family that has been created here in this building, the family of researchers who work well together, despite the fact that this building has changed many, many times and will continue to change over successive administrations and directorships. The fact that the building really is designed for that kind of flexibility is very much the vision of Dr. Roberts and my father. I think that if you heard earlier Stuart's lecture, as I said afterwards, he took everything I might have said. He said it. He actually said it much better, and he said it with fullness because he's done a lot more research on the origins and the development of this project than I was able to do. But I do just want to say that this is a very, very special occasion that I will be bringing back the news to my father when I see him tomorrow. I told him I saw him last night, and he was, again, so pleased that I was coming. I just want you to know that this place is very much in his heart. He wished that he could be here tonight, and I know that I'm not a good proxy for him, but his heart is here. And I just want you to know how much he wants to thank you for being part of this great institution. Thank you.